Is she on? She's on. All right, y'all. Hi guys, it's your lover, homie, and best friend, Benedict Miguel, and welcome. If you're new, welcome. If you're not new, welcome back. If I'm not your best friend by now, I will be by the end of this video. If you're new here, there's something I like to do, which is to give me 3 words to describe your mental health. So stop what you're doing. Before you even start the video, let me know how you're feeling, okay? Go ahead and comment down below. Do it now. This is gonna be real short. Like, it's kind of a story time, but it's kind of like, it's like an experience. I'm gonna kind of tell y'all about an experience that I had, because I was talking to somebody. I was talking to this girl that I like entertained at one point, and I had posted like about how I got proposed to 3 times and I declined every single time. And she was like, you have a commitment issue. So I kind of want to talk about that before we get into the whole little story time experience shebang bang bang. Go ahead and like for me, because it helps me grow here. Go ahead and make sure you leave that comment with the 3 words to describe your mental health. Make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and make sure you turn that notification bell on, because YouTube be tripping. So even if you're subscribed, you'll still need to go ahead and click that bell, okay? Thank you so much. Let's go ahead and get into the video. So I've been proposed to 3 times, and the person told me I had a commitment issue. And I just want to say, I don't think I have a commitment issue, but I am very aware of my relationships with people. Like, I'm very aware of the shadow work that I need to do when it comes to relationships. I'm very aware of my pitfalls when it comes to relationships. I know the way that past experiences, am I clear? I'm aware of just my pitfalls. Like, I can be honest, I'll share this with y'all. I just found this out, or just realized this maybe a day or 2 ago. There's a connection with me with love and pain. And I know I'm not the only person who has that connection, but I'm aware of it to the point where I've been telling myself since I was younger, since I've been like going through stuff, like I knew I was going to have a kid before I got married. And I know that sounds weird, and I probably manifested it. But it was because I used to watch Snapped a lot. I used to watch a lot of stuff, and I just couldn't wrap my head around, like, wow, like, you have this person, and when y'all decide to break up, or they don't want to be with you, you don't want to be with them, or they get pissed off, and because they feel this entitlement because y'all are together, shit can go left really, really fast. As well as me just being a younger and seeing some weird dynamics when it comes to relationships. I don't remember ever seeing like a healthy, first of all, I don't remember nobody being married. I think the only person that I know of being married in my family that was like close enough to where I could like really kind of experience it would have been like my great grandma and great grandfather. By the time I even understood what marriage was, they was divorced or whatever. So I was very aware of like, marriage is a very big commitment, because not only am I telling you I'm gonna be with you, you feel me, but we got to get government involved, we got to sign papers. Then if we want to leave for whatever reason, because people, although it hurts, and now that I'm older, you shouldn't just get up and abandon something you committed to. But let's be real, like, shit happens, and whether the person just don't want to be with you no more, although that hurts the person on the other end, you have to accept that, because you don't want to be with somebody that just don't want to be with you, regardless of what the reason is. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to go through that. It's just a lot. So I was just like, okay, that kind of commitment, I never understood how people got themselves in that kind of commitment and played with it. I've been like that since I was young. That is the weirdest thing to me, to make a commitment to God, whatever God you believe in. I don't care if it's a Christian God, I don't care whatever it is, or if you're just like more like me, I'm on the end of, I know I have a creator, blah blah, I can't, that's a sacred relationship to me, so I'm not gonna get too deep into it. But whether you're higher power, whatever, the fact that you can get in front of God, like me, I always had a fear of dang, like I would feel like, of course God forgives, blah blah blah, but I would never enter into that making promises that I felt like, even if it didn't end up doing it, but that I wasn't like 100% sure that I could keep. Like, I don't play about that. Like, when it comes to prayer and God and the creator and all that stuff, I don't play about that kind of stuff. I've been like that since, again, I wasn't raised super religious, but I've always had that relationship with God kind of thing where I've prayed and stuff. So I don't play about this. So I was like, I don't know, because knowing myself is like, I know the thought process I have on relationships. I understand where it's unhealthy. I understand where I'm really good at. And so, I don't know, marriage was always, when I was younger, it seemed more scary just because it's like, what if it stops working for me? Especially when you think about how marriage is, like how it's talked about, like as far as vows and things like that. Why is my shirt buckling up like that? That's weird. You know, everything, like if you go over not traditional, but again, I'm thinking just vibes I've always heard through sickness and through health, through da 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 da. And I remember telling my mama, like, I'm not saying those things because I'm not gonna sit and lie about it. Because it's like, okay, if you're told like through sickness, through health, through riches, through poor, this and that, okay, but what if what made you poor was your poor financial decisions, and then you just put our whole family in jeopardy because now you got a gambling problem that you didn't come in with, so now I'm required to stay with you. I'm not willing to do certain things, so it's like, why would I even make that commitment knowing? You know what I'm saying? So I get why people stay in marriages too, because that commitment, like some people, and I don't blame them for taking it that seriously. Like, no, I made a commitment for a guy and now I gotta, you know what I'm saying? So obviously you gotta be careful who you marry. Boom, boom, boom. So that's kind of just, I wanted to preface that, right? So I kind of understand where my mental is. So I got proposed to twice by the same person and then once by another person. So one of them was ex-boyfriend, and then I had ex-girlfriend. So the ex-boyfriend I got proposed to, I want to say before I was like 19. I want to say. I'm going to say it was really early on. And this one, I was young. Obviously, I just told you my age. I was young. I was not ready. Like, in my mind, I was like, yeah, this is my person. Like, I'll marry you one day. But again, I wasn't necessarily ready. Like, in school, just doing stuff. I think I was pregnant by that time. Like, I couldn't fathom being married. And then, I'm not gonna lie, the proposal wasn't like a big thing with a ring and all this stuff like that. It was literally like just a proposal without all that. And then it was like, we'll go get married at a cross, boom, boom. But I'm like, no, you know what I'm saying? We can't. That's not a good idea. So boom, that happens. The second time happened with the same person, but it was right after they had like been in jail or whatever. And after they had been in jail for the first time, or not the first time. What? They had been to jail or whatever. So the first time was I was a little young and they was on BS, and not BS, but it was really young guy stuff where it was like they didn't know how to hold boundaries, blah blah blah. You know, I was really young. We was like just doing stuff, just I don't know, just being young. So they asked me to marry them. Of course, they didn't have enough money to just go out and buy a ring. So they was like, yeah, but we can just go get married, courthouse, boom boom boom. That was a no for me, because at that time with that particular person, that particular ex-boyfriend, I wasn't that deep into it yet. I wasn't so deep into it to where we started to warp into each other. I still had a sense of individuality. I still had a respect about myself. It was stuff I wasn't going for. This was before they revealed to me like some physical, just unacceptable behavior, right? So it was before that. Because I think what ended up happening was like one of his exes popped up that I went to high school with her or whatever. We all kind of was like, you know, we knew each other. So she kind of popped up where it was like, you know, inappropriate. Like when you're young, it's like, and let me not say this because that's not okay. Like, people need to respect you and respect boundaries. And if somebody makes a commitment to you, they need to respect what y'all have set up. You feel me? So I think it was just that. But I nipped, listen, I'm like that until this day. Like, I'm one of them people that nip stuff in the bud because I understand temptation. I know how fast things can go left. I've been in situations where it's like, okay, I can't talk. I've been in that situation. So it's like, to me, I need, especially like your ex, why are we entertaining exes? Like, are y'all friends? Which I don't have. That's what I'm saying. If you come into it and this person's like, okay, I had dealings with them at one point, this is really my friend, I have no problem. Like, I'm not that girl. I'm not here to come in and uproot your life and change everything. Like, that's not what I'm here for. If I inspire you to do that, then fine. But it was like just little stuff like that where I'm like, what's the point of the contact, blah blah blah. Just because people on the back end too don't have good intentions. Sometimes we try to make it about this, oh, you want to do this, or you being controlling this and that. But sometimes we can see it. Not even just women, men, people, period. Like, we can see it. Like, okay, I'm just letting you know, like, this person still wants to be with you, or this person is upset about this. You know what I'm saying? And it causes a lot of chaos in your life. And I would say, honestly, I'm at a point now where it's like, if you have to be in touch with people that you used to have dealings with for whatever reason, like you have to, or you just feel that need and it's not really serving you in life, it's not serving your purpose, it's not really, you know what I'm saying? I will probably not date you until you do that. I'm a like, make sure your shit is clean before you get to me. Make sure your ties are cut. Make sure you got it wrapped up. Make sure boundaries are set if you are communicating with her. Like, I'm like that. Because one, I'm not going to let you disrespect me. I still have work to do on myself. You feel me? So certain things I do to protect myself, where it's like, hey, okay, are you like this? Is this how? And that's why we have conversations, because again, I know myself. So it's like, I don't want to deal with no extra stuff, because I know how far I can get. I know how upset I can get. I know how I can detach real fast, but I know how to take, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know myself. So instead of trying to run from, just completely run from who I am while I'm working on certain things, or I might keep certain things about myself because I like it, to protect myself, when you get to me, you should have boundaries already in place. Once you realize, hey, I want to be with you. And I say this to my present self too, because I've still dealt with some people like that, that were not able to set boundaries for it, but was so gung-ho, like, I want to be with you, I want to build with you, I want to do this, I want to do that. And people don't understand the things that you need to come equipped with, or things that you need to have in place before you get there. Like, you need to be boundaries with your friends, and things need to be set in stone. Respect, this is who I'm dating, or this is my person, blah, blah, blah. And then what people used to date, talk to, or you got to be in contact with because of whatever reason, I don't know. There needs to be boundaries. Like, I shouldn't have to come in and tell you how to set boundaries. Of course I can tell you what would make me feel comfortable and stuff, but if you just got doors open everywhere, you ain't tied up this over here, it's like, oh, we just kind of don't talk, like, we just didn't really, you know what I'm saying? Or somebody I was dealing with a week ago, it is not like we didn't have a conversation, but technically I don't. No, tie it up, dead it, do what you got to do, like, you know what I'm saying? And be aware of stuff like that, because when you have people that come to you and then want to be with you, especially if it's quickly, but they were just dealing with a bunch of other people, one, you need to be wary because STDs and shit exist. And then two, you need to be wary because you can meet somebody and be like, you know what, everybody got to go. You feel me? Like, you can be one of those people. I've done that, where it's like, okay, I'm here, I'm laser focused here, I don't even need to talk to these people. One, is rude as to be building any type of connect. If we gonna be honest, out of my thinking, outside of myself, like, forget how I feel. And people like that, they think they like that, where you sitting over here building a connection with somebody, whether it's a friendship, a relationship, or whatever it is, but you're intertwined with this person somehow. Give them the decency of letting them know the real, like, hey, okay, you know, I'm not telling you how to have the conversation, but let them know the real and be like, hey, this ain't working, or hey, I just want to let you know, like I don't know, but y'all, I feel like y'all, if y'all understand what I'm saying, comment below. Like, just, it's bad karma, y'all. Like, you gotta be kind to people. Like, ghosting is necessary, I guess, when it comes to like your mental health, like saving your peace of mind, mental health, physical. When it comes to that kind of stuff, yes. We treat people so discardable these days, or like they'll get over, like, yeah, but why y'all going around don't do that. Like, you started up something with somebody, have the decency to end it the right way, or have the decency to have a conversation or whatever, so that when again, I said be wary, because what happens is when people don't close doors, make amends, tie up things that they've been doing, and it's just recent, one, it can bring a lot of drama into your life. You don't know who they just been dealing with. You don't know how they operate. You don't know if they're crazy. Like, people so hell-bent and so narcissistic that they think is like, no, I just want you all to myself, blah, blah, blah. Sure, but also, you was just with 3 people. Like, are you sure? Like, and then one day you just gonna up now and either ghost them or cut it off so like disrespectfully, or just let the shit just kind of linger on, and they confused because they been talking to you for months, and now you just like, you get what I'm saying? Like, don't play with people. Stop playing. Y'all gotta have enough decency to not play with people's emotions, heart, and feelings. And y'all know when y'all doing it, of course we human and just healthier functioning people, we gonna figure out how to get through it. But you gotta be honest. Okay, all right, it died on. Okay, so yeah, like, clear all that out. I've been like that since I want to say, let me see, real relationships. I've probably been like that since about high school, like later in high school, where I was like, clear it out. I've been like that. That's one thing that I don't think I'm gonna change per se, because people, listen, you get with a person and they just got done dealing with somebody or this and that and all that stuff, and you think shit's sweet until it's not. Like, you don't know what this person done told this person, done promised this person. You don't know if this person know where this person live, and now you with them, so you over there all the time, or they over here. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, people be thinking that you're like controlling and stuff, where yes, you can be controlling in the sense of you can be like, don't do this, you can't do this, can't talk, you know, do this and that, you can't be friends with them because of this and that. However, I don't think me going into it saying, hey, anything that's been not cleaned up, clean it up. Anything, even if you are gonna like cut somebody off at the last minute, I will tell people I'm talking to, don't be you don't have to be a dick about it. You feel me? Like, you don't have to be a dick about it. You don't have to block the person and y'all literally been talking every day for the last 2 months and you block them. Like, I know how this shit work. You feel me? And it's just like the blatant disregard for other people is insane. And I feel like if you are dating somebody that wants you to handle things that way, that's not really good. Like, I'm not that way. And I would say that I'm probably not that way because I'm not truly in my heart or spirit or stuff like actually envious of other people. It's like, if you want to be with somebody else, you go be with somebody else. Like, I don't want somebody that don't, like, literally doesn't want me. So for me, it's tie it up, clean it up, don't go back and forth. If you know somebody like you but you ain't really on that and you being super friendly, like, it's like, come on, y'all, like, let's be real about it. Let's be grown. Let's be grown. The whole point is, at that time when they first proposed, it was like, you know, when I was still had a respect about myself. I wasn't going for certain stuff. I'm like, no, I want it to be like this. Like, you know, I'm like, I'm grown. Like, I meant the stuff, but I really was like, ooh, I'm super grown. Because once I saw that happening, that's even something I had to tell myself now, like, being older. Once you see these things, excuse me, if it even was just 2 months ago, if it was this and that, tell them, hey, come back to me. You will come back to me when you make sure you have all of that squared away. Because when you're in the midst of it and you're trying to build with somebody and they got to cut this out and do this and that, they shouldn't even be in a relationship with you if any doors are still open. Or it shouldn't even be offering to commit to you if all their past dealings do not have boundaries around them, they're not cut off, they're not handled. They're not handled, okay? You don't need to be committing to a new person when you got just a bunch of stuff that's unresolved, open-ended. Like, you get what I'm saying? And then as the person on the other end, you should not accept to be in a relationship until it's like, hey, you get that together, okay? You make sure you have it. You close all the doors you need to close. And then you come back to me when you're actually ready. Like, showing up half ready, right, has always been an issue for me since I was young. But I think when I was a little bit younger, what happens is, and it's still a work in progress for me, where once I'm in it, because I take my relationship serious, I got too much stuff to do to where I need to know, like, I'm with somebody. Are you my partner? Are you here with me? I don't want to deal with the nonsense. If you want to be with somebody else, do that. Don't cheat. If you want to, if the shit just not work, you know what I'm saying? Like, be honest, upfront, be real. It's when the extra stuff comes in, or you don't know yourself, or you didn't handle this properly, or you sit over here acting like I'm a grown person, I know how to handle stuff, and then we find out you don't know how to set boundaries. It just causes a lot of issues where unhealed people or unequipped people are just going into stuff like, well, I want to be in a relationship. Well, I want to do this with you, but you're not prepared. You're just not prepared. And that's fine. Or you're not equipped to either be in a relationship with that type of person where you might play with other people. You can get to do that where you might have somebody that's not playing. And that's kind of how I came at it. Like, I was like, I don't want no extra drama. I don't want to deal with no, you know, and I was, like, again, I was young. Because I know this is before my daughter. I had to be, man, I was probably 18-ish. Like, I had to be young. You feel me? And so that was that. Now, I did get proposed to before that, but with that, it was like it's not like a really on the ground proposal. This is an ex-girlfriend of mine. I was in the midst of breaking up with them, and I think they were already prepared to do it, and then they went ahead and still did it, I guess. Like, still was like, what are you talking, like, I'm proposing to you, this and that, and I'm like, but I'm like breaking up with you. Like, I'm here to break up. You here to propose. How that communication error happened, or how obviously two people can be on two very separate pages, or I don't know if, no, yes I do. I wasn't ready. And see, that was before then. I get proposed to twice by the time I was 18, 19 years old. So the ex-girlfriend actually proposed before that first time. And it was just really, I was at the time they was proposing, I was ready to break up. Like, I was like, I want to break up. I don't actually want to be in the relationship, you know what I'm saying? So obviously I said no to that before it even happened. So that was the literal first time I got proposed to. I said no. And then this time I'm talking about where we was just young and he was setting boundaries. So I'm like, you need to set these boundaries, this and that, blah, blah, blah. I had a respect about myself. So he took that as a proposing. And, you know, he didn't have he didn't have the money, the ring, all that stuff to do it. So he kind of just said it like, but I do want to be with you, blah, blah, blah. and we can just go get married at like a courthouse or something. And again, I still had to respect. I keep having to say this because I feel like it's important. I had to respect about myself, because I've dealt with some shitty relationships, some shitty people, and I take some accountability for that, just because of, you know, my traumas or what I've seen and stuff like that, and why I accept certain things from certain people. So if it's not me, because it's like you're the reason for the relationship, is why you're attracting a certain thing, or you accepting a certain thing. So I take accountability in that. But this person had kids. Of course, by that time, again, I was young. I was not thinking about, oh, you got another kid, and oh, are you paying child support? Like, it crossed my mind, of course, but I was just like, you know what I'm saying? I'm young. I'm like, I might end up with you. I might not end up with you. So why I need to be all in your business? But at the same time, when we get married, you having them kids and all that stuff. End up finding out later that he was still legally married to his ex that he had a son with. They had been separated for years and years and years and years. Like, it was evident, okay, before y'all come on, you know what I'm saying? It was very evident, but I didn't find it out till later. But he had told me. Like, at first he told me, like, they was together, this is now, like, he actually told me these things. Again, I'm young as hell. I'm not like, show me the paper, let me know that you did it. I'm thinking you got married young when you was in like the army, military, whatever. You got divorced, and I had never seen like I've, of course, have my own things. Like, I know my dad and stuff. But I've seen situations where dads are not present, or they leave, they come. You know what I'm saying? But I've never seen it to that extent where a man will sit and cry and cry and cry and say how somebody's keeping their kid away from them and really blame it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this happens. Like, women are really like, you're one of those, you know, believing in shit. Like, oh, it was her, not you, type shit. So it was just things that I didn't want to dig into, but I also was like, I'm gonna have to dig into that before I ever say yes to a marriage. So obviously I said no. That's the second time I got proposed to. Different person, not the ex-girlfriend. This is sweetheart, ex-boyfriend. Cool. Then later on, because I have a kid, you know what I'm saying, or I had a kid with him, whatever, and later on, you know, life's going by, blah blah blah, he gets into things, he's arrested, he's in jail. After, I'm trying to think which time was this, like, because he had went to jail when I was pregnant, and then he went again for like violating probation, because he just thought probation, it was just dumb and whatever. So we having conversations, and obviously these stints of him going to jail are very stressful for me. Like, if I wasn't pregnant, I had a newborn. If I, you know what I'm saying, it's my first time being a parent and stuff. So I was like stressed the out. You feel me? Going off tight. Like, I'm tight as a mother. Like, when I say I'm tight as okay? So he gets out, blah blah blah. I don't know if I had postpartum or not. That's crazy. I'm not sure, but I might have. But again, the relationship quality was not good and everything too. So I don't know, y'all. I was all over the place. So afterwards, obviously I was happy to see them. I remember the first time we kind of connected and stuff. He ended up crying, doing this whole spiel like, I want to marry you, this and that, blah blah. This time they actually had a ring though. Like, they actually had a ring the second time around with sweetheart. So the third time I got proposed to, he actually had a ring. And I think I wore that mug for like not long. And then it's like, legally you're still married, you cannot marry me. And this person was manipulative. Like, it was a roller coaster. That was a tough relationship. If you haven't watched my DV story, go watch that, and you'll kind of, you know, link it together, because I'm trying to stay on the storyline here. So they proposed or whatever. I don't know if I threw it away. I don't know if I threw it. We got into it, and I was like, no. And just common sense wise, he was using that to, you know, keep me. He knew, you know, it's like the man who mess up and then they go buy you a bunch of gifts. Like, it was like that. Like, you knew what you were doing. I knew what was going on. I was kind of agreeing to it. Nobody knows about it. I don't know if I ever told anybody about this. I might have told an ex or something. I feel like I've never. Either way, I'm like, you know, again, marriage is still in the back of my mind, y'all. For me to marry somebody, that's gonna be just, I just cannot fathom. I can't fathom standing somewhere. It's because as much as I pray, as much as I believe in God and having a creator and being protected, I just cannot imagine going into it or just carelessly getting married and not really sitting down and understand that what you're saying out loud to God, and then, you know what I'm saying, and then playing with it. Like, that's just not, I don't like that. So it was like, no matter what I was going through, like at first I was like, cool, but then I was like, no, you're still married. The shit that we going through is not, you know what I'm saying? And then it was like a little saving thing, although I was messed up from all the manipulation and, you know, and all that stuff. It was just something, the tiny, teeny thing in the back of my mind, like, girl. It was just something that was saving me. And again, I think it had to be my creator, it had to be God, because my self-worth, like everything left in that relationship, which is probably why now when I move forward in relationships, my pressure on people is hard. Like, my pressure on people to like, don't play with me, woo, because I'm not sad, but my pressure on people to not play with me, like, it's me or it's not me. If you confused, go over there. So yeah, I put pressure, and it's something I'm working on, like, just be like figure it out so you can have that balance. But I put pressure on people that say they want to be with me and actually say yes and we in a relationship, because I know how I am. I know that I don't play. Like, when it comes to things like, it's like my daughter, my relationship, like when it comes to things that I say I actually care about, and things that I'm like, okay, you're now a part of my life, I'm doing this because, again, I'm here to fulfill my purpose and stuff. So I put the pressure on when it comes to that. So you're not gonna play with me, you're not gonna lie to me, we're not going through none of that. Like, be prepared. Like, you can't come in here and play with my emotions or my heart, or be unready, or I'm collateral damage because you didn't heal from something, or I'm collateral damage because you got an alcohol thing, or I'm collateral damage because you got a weed, drug, whatever, or I'm collateral damage because you ain't did no self-work, or I'm collateral damage because you don't know how to be accountable. Like, people are collateral damage in relationships every single day, and you damn near just gotta save yourself. So yeah, they proposed to me, and even then I found out that why even they proposed, other than just them feeling like, damn, I left you again and you got a newborn and you was da-da-da and you was like hurting, like you was out here like struggling type shit. I found out they I found out they slept with a friend of mine. Yep. I found that out. That's probably what caused that ring. Yeah. There we go. Usually, y'all, when I tell you stories, I really do have to be very aware of my energy when I tell certain stories, just because the elements of it can kind of be a little, and I tell them because I know it's going to help somebody. Okay, so I ended up finding out he slept with my friend, and I can kind of tell that story too later. If y'all want me to, comment down below if you want to hear that story. I'll go briefly into it. And this was actually a friend that I protected, y'all. Like, I switched high schools, I want to say, in like 11th grade, and she used to get picked on. One time, this guy, we was in the hallway. It was kind of mixed. It was like black, white, Arabic, and these guys pulled her wig off her head. And I don't know if we ever got to the bottom of why she wore wigs. Like, you know, I don't care. I was so into, I don't care. So they pulled her wig off. So I said something to them about that. You know, like, this is somebody I protected. She ended up having a kid with like a not so great person, according to her. You know what I'm saying? And he wasn't in the kid's life and stuff like that. And I found that out. This was actually somebody I used to take her and her daughter out to eat. I used to pick her up, go take her and her daughter, because again, she didn't have a lot of help. Or I would just sit there, I've sat at her house, and she just would vent, you know what I'm saying, about going through it, because she was a single parent, and that's hard, you know what I'm saying. And no matter how you lay it, especially if you wanted to be with the person, and again, I don't know their, you know, I didn't know their business like that, but I found that out, and found out through him. Like, something was weird. Like, I always knew it was something weird, because at the time I had I used to call her my soulmate, my god sister, whatever, and we worked together. And I just remember, like, I had went through a miscarriage not that long before that. I remember just having a feeling, y'all, my intuition. And this is where I be feeling like sometimes you don't know, like, your intuition and anxiety can get mixed up, especially when your intuition was used so much with trauma. So, and with this person, my intuition with all the bullshit they used to do was I was so like all over like the place. I said something to him, the person I'm with, that I have a child with, like that. What are you doing? I'm having a conversation with him, telling him don't get too comfortable, this and that, and this and that, and this out of pocket. Because this is somebody I talked to about my relationship before. She's like, oh, y'all are so cute together, blah, blah, you're so lucky. Obviously, you gotta watch out for people. I didn't know her character was like that. That's what threw me off, because she was always the sweet, you know what I'm saying? Oh, and so, you know, she seemed a little bit more mature than people. Like, I would have never expected this with her. So, like, I really just didn't. Like, even if she's like one of those people I would think, even if she had that feeling kind of, she would be too afraid to do it. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, I was talking to him like, you know, because I just had it. I felt it. I felt him getting comfortable. Like, it was just weird. Like, I knew who I was dealing with. He ends up telling her. They try to make it seem like I'm just like, no, what are you talking about? You being insecure, this and that. First of all, you know why I am the way I am with you, which rightfully so, I should have left the relationship way before, but you know why I am the way I am. Why would you say this to another girl? Why? Because you like, oh, well, y'all friends, so I just want to let you know your friend is tripping. She think we gon' da-da-da-da-da, boom, boom, boom. All right, cool. I ended up getting into it with her because I think I ended up calling his phone, because at the time they worked at the same place. I call his phone, and she answers his phone. So I was texting him the whole time. I'm texting him. We going back and forth. I call you. Why the hell are you answering? But I don't give a fuck. Unless this nigga dead or something. Unless this man is dead. This is, you feel me? Why are you answering his? Because I wouldn't say we was like best friends, but we were decently good friends. Like, if I'm taking you and your daughter out to get food, I'm coming in and sitting at your house and you venting. First of all, I don't do stuff like that. That's not how I am. I have a couple friends at a time. We don't have to sit, I don't just do that with anybody. You feel me? We actually went, I done bought your daughter food. I done bought Pampers. I done did all kind of shit. I'm literally sitting there like, and I'm looking at, and I end up talking to my best friend at the time like, am I tripping? Why the hell are you answering his phone? I guess maybe he was doing something, he was busy working, whatever, he told her to pick it up. I don't know, but just hearing it, and I'm like, I don't want to talk to you. What the hell are you doing? Like, so I'm going, at that point, y'all, I'm tight. I'm tight because I'm telling you, I'm talking to you about something and a concern, and then you give the very person, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What the hell are you doing? I went off because I even talked to her before I was talking to him. I talked to her about the fact that we had just experienced a miscarriage. I talked to her about things that have been going on, you feel me? Like, it wasn't like every single day sitting in my crib talking on the phone, but you are somebody I confided in about this person. This is somebody I told you was putting their hands on me. After you, and I'm literally only getting emotional, not because I'm like sad, I want the friendship or nothing, but I'm getting emotional because y'all, it's like, you know, things like this exist, but loving somebody so much to the point where, or at least for me, God, like loving somebody so much to the point where you have to be humiliated, embarrassed, degraded, disrespected for you to leave. Y'all, it should never get to that point. And it's like, I think I overlooked a lot of relationship, emotional, like those things, because I've never seen a super great example, you feel me, of it. I've seen like people function without chaos, you feel me, but just knowing myself, like, because I've gone through these modes after that, many times after that. Before I even ever got into relationship with this person, the person that had the sweetheart that proposed to me twice, I never took shit from people in dating. Ever. Before that, it was, oh, you said something about my mom being, I remember dating somebody said something disrespectful, like your mom was tripping, blah blah blah. Broke up with them. I remember before that, goddamn, somebody telling me I don't want to be with a girl who got a nose ring. I don't like the way that. Broke up with him. You gon' respect me. After that relationship, and I don't know if it's because maybe I wasn't like super in love with nobody, before that, like, you know what I'm saying, I never knew how that felt or what I thought it felt like or whatever, and I wanted my family, and then I might have a kid, so I want a family, blah blah blah. After that, after just being in that kind of relationship I was in, I questioned myself. I didn't trust myself. I'm like, it's up, down, is the sky blue? Like, it was so tormenting that it was like, it really just, I don't know, it had me, now it's just, I'm sorry, I got emotional because I'm thinking back on it, and it's like, you were so hell-bent on loving somebody. I don't know if they didn't love themselves. I don't know. You were so consumed by them, though, that you couldn't even take care of yourself. So it was, okay, so I feel like, I don't know, sorry y'all, certain betrayals, like, just do things to you feel me, and you have to find a new way to either experience better people or do something within yourself so that you don't have this like weird outlook on life. Although people like that exist, it's good to know that they exist, but going through it is a very weird thing. So again, she knew about the miscarriage. I told her. I was distraught. So that was that. I had a miscarriage, and she knew that. She knew how I felt, and it's like, I done bought you stuff, I sat on the phone with you, you done talked to me about how your baby daddy just dogs you out, don't take care of your kid, and then I'm telling you, after you have come to me, you done praised my relationship, and we popping in and out, we going to get food, you see us working, you see us together, and you looking at me like, oh, you're so lucky. So y'all can't do that either. It's like, oh my gosh, y'all are so cute together, y'all so lucky. And I'm thinking, okay, so when you said, was I lucky, was it because you had all your stuff going on and you feel like I was complaining, and since you thought he was such a good thing, or did you always want him? Because we went to school together, like, you always want him, you know, whatever. It was just a very weird thing, and I wasn't like, I don't know if I was sad when I found out, because so pretty much he proposed the second time, but I realized you only proposed out of guilt. Like, you proposed because you knew you was on bullshit this whole time, left me or whatever on your own. You didn't leave, you left because you felt like you should not conform to authority with having to drug test and all that stuff. So you chose, and then ended up going to jail, and you understood how that impacted me. And then you got me all swooped up and this and that, I'm gonna give her this ring, and then I'm gonna tell her that I slept with her friend, and then I'm gonna tell her I slept with her friend after I asked. Y'all, I actually asked. My intuition don't be missing. Like, after that, again, it was hard for me to choose people after that too, kind of, because it was like, I was so like, it was hard to trust myself. Like, I have to learn how to trust myself over again, when it was like, girl, you knew all the shit that you knew was going on. Like, you knew. And it was like, they were such a person where it's like, well, you don't see it, you don't have proof. So I ended up asking him before. It was like a day or night before, something before he brought up this whole proposal thing the second time. And then he ended up telling me while we was laying, after we was all cool, he told me no, he didn't. I said, okay, if you did, because it's not saying I was going to stay with him. I'm like, if you did, I'm asking you. And one thing I don't like is for me to be extremely upset about something, distraught, hurt by something that you did, and me knowing that you did it, me asking you calmly, peaceful, collectively, and you blatantly look me in my face and lie. What kind of person are you? Like, if you did that shit and I understand that maybe you regret it now, but you gotta stand on that. You have to stand on that. You don't get to, okay, I'm gonna tell you later because I didn't want you to leave me. That's not fair. That's not fair. That is not fair. That shit, it gets me a little tight, because it's not the first, I mean, that's not the only person I've ever dealt with like that in life. I ain't never did that to somebody. Ever, y'all. I've never been in a relationship with somebody and did some whole shit or did some stupid shit or really went out my way and hurt somebody or hurt you unintentionally, and then you ask me a question or ask me to be honest, and I blatantly look them dead in their face and lie. I've never done that. I've never done it, especially if you sitting here looking at me, and maybe I didn't mean to, like, not meant to do some whole shit. Maybe I just didn't care and did some whole shit, and you explaining it to me, not even saying don't talk about it, it's not your business, this and that. No, I blatantly have never looked somebody in the face and they've been like, you did this whole shit, or this how this hurt my feelings, blah blah blah, and I look at them and be like, and lie or say I didn't do it or some stupid shit. I ain't never did that. You got to be a special type of person to do that. I just went through that not that long ago with somebody I had talked to, like, had a, listen, little things that should not have been overlooked. I'm like, you did this and these things happen. They acknowledged it. which is why they let me break up with them before. They acknowledged it. Then they had turn around, and when shit is like hit the fan, like off on the fan, or you want to start there, I don't care what you do. But once the shit get real and they got to take accountability for some bullshit, then it's, oh, that didn't happen. I didn't do that. That's delusion. It's crazy. People, listen, people. The only way to save yourself is to not try to force these people to be good people or accountable, but to literally just stay away from them. So boom, he ended up telling me days later, like, we lay, and I remember just laying there, and he told me like, hey, I want to tell you something. And he told me, and at first I was sitting there like, I'm like, you serious right now? Because I like literally asked you, and just because all the shit that was built up and you didn't want me to leave, or you didn't want me to do this and that, because that's the thing about relationships that are not very healthy and toxic and stuff, y'all care on and off. That's just how it be. It's sometimes you be ready to go, then they don't want you to go, but then they don't want to treat you right, and then they end up over here maybe having fun with somebody else, or they just don't feel like it no more, like f it, discard you, then you start moving on. It's a back and forth of I care, I don't care, I care, I don't care, I don't want to be with you, fuck you. It's obviously, it's just not, you know. So he told me, and I was just like, wow. So that was obviously, I'm not going to what the fuck, I'm not wearing a ring. Take the ring off, nigga. The ring is off. So now, how that all transpired once I found out, and she found out that I found out, that's a whole different story time, okay? But yeah, those are my 3 times I was proposed to, and I declined, and why I declined. And y'all know I be dropping little things in between, so I hope y'all were able to pretty much get the story. Moral of the story or whatever is, one of them was due to I wanted to break up. I didn't want to be in a relationship. And then the other 2 was literally, one was I wasn't ready, and then the next one was just, it was like, I'm not, come on now. Like, I am stupidly in love right now, but I'm not going to get up in front of God and promise these things to this person. It was just something in the back of my mind, in the back of my mind that was saving me. Like, are you sure you want to be married to this person? Are you sure you're going to live alone, have more kids, because you're going to probably end up having more kids, and be married to this person? Do you know how that ending is going to end? And the fact that I could see it ending with a life loss, or just very traumatically, I was like, I can't. As much as I love you, as much as I want to do, as much as, you know what I'm saying, I can't do it. So those are my 3 times I got proposed to, said no. Y'all comment below and let me know if the girl that I was entertaining was right. Do I have commitment issues? Because to me, it's just like, you just got to pick better people. Except for the girl that I declined. That's a whole different, you know what I'm saying? That was just, we broke up. But, you know, comment below. Let me know if I was tripping. Let me know if I have commitment issues, okay? So that's pretty much the video. Also, if you want to hear about the extended, I don't even know if I want to talk about that, about me finding out the friend. That's another, I don't even think I want to tell that story, because like, what's the lesson in that? Just, I don't know. Don't call everybody your friend. That girl was there when we got to a fight together. I got had a jumping situation. She was there pregnant, man. I don't know. I'll think about that. Y'all kind of let me know, but I don't know if I really want to even talk about that. But if I do talk about it, I'll talk about our whole friendship timeline, so then I can tell y'all how it ended up, where you end up sleeping with my person, or the father of my child, or whatever. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know how long this video was. I said it was gonna be quick, but I'm about to go to the gym. Remember that you guys create your own narrative. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell, and most importantly, share. Until next time, bye best friends.